Hello everyone, welcome to my next tutorial on research methodology. In this tutorial, I will cover the structure of research paper, how we should structure our paper in order to submit it to our selected journal. So in structure of the research paper, we need to follow the following steps. A structure, abstract, introduction, related work, experimental design, research methodology, research results, discussion and interpretation, threats to validity, conclusion and future work, acknowledgement, references, and appendix. I will cover these points one by one in a separate video, but in this video I will cover the structure, abstract, and introduction part. So follow the video in order to learn how to write standard, abstract, and introduction part to your research paper. The first structure of our paper contains the title of our paper. Remember, select a meaningful title, a comprehensive title to your research paper. Your title should attract the reader's interest towards your research paper. After your title, you are supposed to write the author details, your name, last name, your country, your department, your college, your university. You will put them all together after the title of your paper. The next important point is the abstract part, the most important part of our research paper. Remember, when someone reads our research paper, they will only read the abstract part of our paper. So be careful, spend more time on writing your abstract paper. Your abstract is the summary, the overall summary of your research work. So you have to include the overall summary of your research in this part. So what you include here, let me briefly explain what are the important parts that we have to consider while writing our research paper and writing our abstract. The abstract provides a short summary of the study, it includes the following components. The first one, background. The second one, methods. The third one, major findings or key results, and conclusion. The first component, which is background, what we should write in the background of our abstract. In the background parts of your abstract, you have to briefly write 1 to 2 sentences about the topic that you have selected. Just a brief explanation about the topic. What is your topic about? What is the usage of your topic? What's the advantage of your topic? Who can use it? Just a brief explanation that I'm working on software engineering education. So software engineering education plays a key role, a vital role in teaching different software courses in undergraduate and postgraduate level. So we need to write a sample 2 to 3 or 1 to 3 sentences about the title of our research paper. The next component, which is methods. We have to include the methodology of our research in the abstract part. What methodology we have used? What methodology we have used while conducting and working on our research work? You have did a survey, you did some experiment, you are just doing a literature review, what tools you have used, what statistical techniques you have used. All these methodologies and techniques needs to be included in your abstract part. It will be 3 to 4 sentences, 1 to 2 or 3 sentences. The third component is the major findings or the key results. In the third components, you have to include the major findings of your results. What you have found, while you conducted this research, while you have completed this research work, what you have found, what are your results, that you have performed a research work on some specific topic in your field. So whatever you found, explain it briefly, right in the abstract part, that while conducting this research, my finding is that using educational games can benefit the learning process, or you can add it based on your research field. The last part of your abstract is the conclusion part. In conclusion part, just briefly a simple conclusion of your work, that while you have conducted this research, this experiment, this survey, what result you got, what is the conclusion, just 1 to 2 sentences included. So if you consider these 4 components, your abstract will be a very meaningful and a standard abstract, and when someone is reading your abstract, they get a broad idea about your research work, and they don't require to go inside your research paper, because most of the researchers, they just want to read the abstract and introduction part of the paper, that they know what methodology, what results, what findings, and what conclusion they have got through this research work. Another important things that you need to consider while writing your abstract should not be more than 300 words. It should be between 200 and 300 words, but some journals are giving their own limitations, and we have to consider their number of words in our abstract parts. Maybe they will request us that our abstract part should not be more than 170 words. So we have to brief it, reduce it to 170 words, but it should not be so lengthy. The next part, your abstract should not provide long descriptions. It should be brief. It should be summarized. It should not contain abbreviations. You are not allowed to use abbreviations in abstract part. The next part, you are not allowed to use figures, tables, or reference to figures and tables. And overall, you are not allowed to use references in your abstract part. Remember that abstract is the summarization of your work, research work, and you should combine them all together in 170 to 300 words, and consider those 4 steps and components: the background, methods, major findings, key results, and conclusions. The next part of the structure of our research paper is the introduction part. This is also very important while we are writing the introduction to our research paper. So most researchers, they only read the title of your page, the abstract part, and introduction parts. Once they have read these 2, abstract and introduction part of your research paper, they receive a broad concept about your research work. So what we should include in the introduction parts? In introduction parts, we have to consider 4 questions. It means the introduction section must answer the 4 following questions. The first one, what is the purpose of this study? What is the purpose of your study? Why you have conducted this study? You have to briefly write the purpose of our study in introduction part. The next question is why the study is important. Why the study is important? Why you are working on this study? Write the importance of your studies, that my study can help this individual, this organization, this part of society can solve this problem in a specific area. So the importance of your study needs to be answered in introduction part. And the third question is, what is the context of the study? What is the overall context of your study? What are you working on? What is your area or the field that you are working on this research, the field that you are conducting this research work? So the introduction part must answer about the must provide answer to the context of the study that you have completed. And the last question is how the study enhances or adds to the current literature. So these questions must be answered in introduction part of your research paper. Does your study enhances the current literature or not? So if your introduction part is not answering these 4 questions, so it means that your introduction part is very weak, it has less quality, it doesn't impact your research work, it doesn't attract readers' interest toward your topic. The next thing that you have to consider in introduction part is you have to include some motivation behind your study. Motivation behind your study, when someone read your paper, they have to be motivated. What are the problems? What were the gaps? And how you have filled these gaps in your research paper? What are the problems available and how you can solve those specific problems in your research work? So when someone is reading, they should get motivation toward your study and toward reading your research paper. The next is the research aims. The research objectives must be included to the introduction part. What is the objective of your research? Explain the objective also. And the research questions. What research? If you have some research questions, include into the introduction parts. That I have 1, 2, 3 research questions, and I will answer these research questions in my research work. And the last thing and the last point that you need to consider in an introduction part is the problem statement of your work. What problem you want to solve? What is the problem statement of your research and how you can solve this available problem in your research work. So this was all about structure of our research paper, about abstract part and introduction parts. Follow the next video. I will talk about other steps in structuring our research paper. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video with your loved ones.